We're changing it up just a bit today. Several months ago, we reviewed the PowerHorse 7000 generator from Northern Tool, 7,000 surge watts, like 5,500 continuous watts of power. Now, we actually pushed 10,000 watts of halogen bulbs at it, showing lighting those up and cooking some different things. Anyway, if you haven't seen that review, be sure to check that out. But today, we want to know, this thing's been sitting around, you see the cobwebs on it, the dust all over it, because let's face it, the generators don't get run unless there's storms knocking out the power. Well, that's already starting to happen here in Central Florida. Storm season is upon us. Hurricane season starts in June and runs through October, so it's time to get the generator in order. So we're going to do a little maintenance on it. Make sure it runs. We have no idea. I haven't started it in months. So we're going to run through, change the oil, do some different things, and then we'll see if it runs, so stick around. As we mentioned, you can see the cobwebs and the dust all over this generator. It was just put under the shelf and forgotten about for a few months, because let's face it, we don't turn these on until we really need them. Anyway, first thing we're going to do, we're going to change the oil. So we don't really have to do anything really complicated here to fit a pan under there. You can get a pan. I'm going to put a 2x4 under the front feet. Puts a little bit of pitch on the engine, but shouldn't be too bad. But we're going to use an old gallon container of motor oil. Just cut the side out of it, and it's going to fit perfectly under there with that 2x4 under it. And then all we need is a 12 millimeter wrench, and wow, that was pretty tight. Here we go, we'll drain that oil. Had to do a little emergency mending there, brought to you by Scotch Super 33. That aluminum's sharp, by the way. Yeah, no, that sheet metal right there is what got me, I think. Anyway, it could be the aluminum right here on this edge. Seems pretty sharp. Be careful with that. So anyway, our oil is drained about out. Good enough for me. Snug that up. And pull our container out now. Safely discard that. Pull our 2x4s out so that now we're nice and level. And by the way, max capacity on this is about a little over a quart. I think a quart should do it if you have a little bit of residual left in there. And basically, as it says right here, just fill to the bottom lip. So basically, about to that top thread there should be the max capacity on this engine. Take a little closer look inside there. You see we've got virtually no oil in there. We need to fill that up to just about this top thread here. Not this over here, but down here. Always consult your manual of your generator to see what type of oil to run. We're just running a 10W30 synthetic. And we'll go ahead. And you want to keep an eye on how full it's getting. We're just about to the top, and our quart's about empty. Basically, our quart is empty. So like I said, with a little bit of residual in the motor, you're probably going to be right at a quart, and a quart is going to be just fine for you. So no need to get a couple of quarts unless you just want extra. And make sure you keep things tidy. When you put it back together, then you'll have less dirt. And if it makes you feel better, you can check it with your dipstick as well to make sure you're topped off. And by the way, there is a drain on the other side, but this one's closer, so this one's going to work a little easier. Which, by the way, in our review video, we talk about the low oil indicator, not low oil indicator, the actual low oil shutoff. That's what this is here. If it senses that there's no crankcase oil in there, it will shut the fire down on this machine. It will not start at all. So it'll shut the spark off to the to the spark plug. So always make sure you have oil in it before you try to crank it, because it will shut that down. I'm going to go ahead and turn our generator around here. And then what we have here, here's where we started. Here's our fuel, and here's our air filter. So let's go ahead and we'll pop the clips on our air filter. Pretty self-explanatory. And all we have here is a foam air filter, kind of a two-stage foam actually. Ours is pretty clean. I would recommend that if you have any dirt on here whatsoever, maybe spray it with a little degreaser, maybe even a little Dawn dish soap, and kind of wring it out in the Dawn dish soap and water. A little bit, a little warm water would help as well. If it's too bad, go ahead and replace them. But you can squeeze them out, wring them out, and then set them in the sun, let them dry for a little bit, and then put them back in, and you should be good. This is our fuel pickup. So basically we've got our tank here, our 6-gallon tank is up here, and then this is our fuel petcock. So we can turn fuel off, we can turn fuel on, and that's what delivers fuel to our carburetor. Now right here is kind of important, because this is kind of the first, not really filtered, but there's probably a screen, but there's at least a bowl right here that catches some residual as this tank gets older, as trash comes through here that gets in our fuel tank. That's kind of the first collection point, if you will. So I want to take that off and have a look. By the way, there's a nut on the bottom side, and it is a 10 millimeter. You probably get a little fuel on you here. So there we have, and it's pretty clean fuel in there, other than being a little aged, but I believe we've got some stable in there, so we should be good. So you can see our petcock, our bowl in our petcock was pretty clean. So really no trash in there whatsoever. Again, a little yellow fuel, so probably a little age to it. But check that out, you know, bang that out, blow it out, clean it up real good, and then put it back in there. Again, that's kind of your first collection point of any possible trash getting in your system. Something else I would recommend would be in your fuel line here. As you see, this goes directly in. You can't see it because of the air filter housing, but this goes directly into the carburetor with no fuel filter at all. If you are starting to see trash in your petcock, or as just a safety precaution, I'd put an inline fuel filter here that's going to catch any trash before it enters the carburetor and causes problems there. You put my filter back on, and by the way, you have a pre-filter and a filter. The coarser filter is going to be on the outside. That's going to be your first line, and then the finer filter is going to be the last one in the series, if you will. Now right here, this is our carburetor right here, and right here on the bottom is basically a drain hole where we can access the bowl of the carburetor. And when we do this, when we pull this out, we're going to drain a little fuel out. We can use something to catch that if we want to. And we're just trying to get an idea here of, do we have any trash in here? You could also strain this through a filter. So we're good and clean there. Put that back in there. And that's just going to drain any residual fuel that is in the carburetor, especially if it's bad fuel. Get that out of there. And the last thing we want to do before putting fuel in it, we want to pull the spark plug wire off. It's right here above the exhaust. I'm going to use a spark plug wrench, but you probably got a wrench with your generator that you could use, but I'd rather take a socket and extension and get this out. And then just take a good look at this. If it's nice and clean like this is, you'll be good to go. If it's real sooty or has any type of trash on it whatsoever, then you definitely want to replace that spark plug. But this one, really nice and clean. We're going to use that over again. And also make sure that if you are replacing it, don't just trust that it's got the right plug in it. Consult the manual. Should tell you what plug to get. So you're putting the right spark plug in your machine. Nice and snug. Your spark plug wire back on there. Now it's time to fuel it up. So now we want to put fuel in it. We want to make sure that our fuel is turned on. So we're going to turn our fuel on. So this is off and this is on. So now our fuel is on. Then we want to make sure our spark is on. So turn engine switch to on and we should be ready to roll. We also have a choke here. We'll go ahead and turn that on for one pull anyway. Another good idea, after you run it for a few seconds, go ahead and shut it back off, let it drain down a minute, and then check your oil just to make sure you're still topped off. And that's it. Hey, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Would you hit the thumbs up and like and subscribe, please? If not, if you hate our video, by all means, give us that thumbs down, but let us know in the comments why. Have a great day. Keep smiling.